Hey, welcome to my yard. I'm just going to show you around really quick, tell you about my plans that I have for my gardens, and just keep you updated on a weekly basis. So, just get started, I guess. This is my front garden. We just moved in about a year ago, and all of these plants were here at the time. I just moved this stump in, and I'm going to hollow it out in the center so I can put a pot inside of it for flowers. And then I'm going to put a pot of flowers in this milk can as well. Here we have peonies, daylilies. I can't remember what color they are. I believe these are Naked Lady and Dianthus. There are quite a few Naked Lady in here. And then I have two daffodils. But I don't think this is really a very good area for them because they don't get a lot of sun. And here's Ro. Ro, hello. She likes the flowers. All right. Up here, I just cleared out a little spot this year for some flowers in front, and I have foxgloves. They are in there. I just barely planted them this year, so they won't flower this year, but they'll flower next year. And as you can see, I'm struggling. Look at all these holes. Oh, man. And they go like every day. They look like they're flopping, and then they're not, and then they're flopping, and they're not. And anyway, we're struggling with those. Ro, what you doing? She likes to look for the chipmunks. All right, so it's like mid-afternoon, 3 o'clock or so. So some of my plants might not be looking too hot from the sun. Well, they will be looking too hot from the sun. This was here before we moved, Hosta. It does not look very pretty, as you can see from these leaves here, because early in the season I sprayed a little too close to it with some weed killer. So I'm sure it'll come back. Oh, that darn husband of mine. Look at this. This is my black-eyed Susan that he weed whipped. Grr. That's all right. I've got more. Here's another black-eyed Susan. My child stepped on it. It was supposed to come up right here, but she stepped on it. It fell over, and it still seems to be living and now sending up new shoots. So between my husband, the dog, and the 2-year-old, we struggle with our garden. And all of these are just weeds, but I'm not removing them because this is on a slope, and when it rains really heavy, the soil washes away, so they're gonna stay. Here's a very sad looking rhubarb. I got it from it was a bare root plant. I actually got 2 of them. There was supposed to be one here, but I had to dig it up so I can plant it in a pot and baby it because it was not coming up. But I got them from Walmart, and it was 2 plants for $3, which is like way better than anything anything I was looking at in a nursery. So this just needs a little bit of water and it'll perk up again. Another black-eyed Susan that manages to be living. Oh, and the reason for the tomato cage is not because the plant needs it. It's so that my daughter doesn't jump on this. She likes to walk across these boards here and jump off, and yeah, I have no trust in that child. All right, here we have a blackberry and a black raspberry and a red raspberry, like a heritage or something like that. Those are also in tomato cages to prevent my daughter from plucking them out of the ground and snapping them into tiny pieces. So these sticks are to mark where I planted strawberries, and my daughter has has pulled out several of the sticks already. I got like 10 bare root strawberry plants from Walmart, and they were like $3 or something like that for all of them. And none of them have come up. So I'm going to be digging up this whole area. Not all of it, but I'm going to dig up all the plants out of this area and try and replant the strawberries, see if I can do a better job, get them to live. I have no idea what this is, but it's coming out. It's just all shoots growing up from an old stump. But eventually we are going to wood chip this all the way back between the fence, and this is the tree house, by the way. Whoa, so cool. My daughter loves the tree house. But we're going to be wood chipping back here, and actually a ton of this area between the treehouse and the fence is all going to get wood chipped because it's mostly weeds that are aggressive spreaders and we cannot keep them under control. So this is a very sad peony. I'm going to dig it up and transplant it, but this is another plant that I sprayed with weed killer on accident. All right, and now we've got pole beans. I've only planted these like not even 2 weeks ago, and they're coming up really well. So we'll see. This is my first time planting pole beans. I have no idea how those are going to do. These are bush beans. I planted them the same time I planted the pole beans. They're actually doing fairly well considering that I planted them kind of late in the season because it's mid-June almost. So I planted them at the beginning of June. So all of this area against the fence, like back here you can see, and against the fence, it's all weeds. Back here I planted some Astilbe, I think that's how you say it. 2 plants that were bare root, also from Walmart. They were like $5 for the 2 of them. They did not come up, so I'm going to be digging those up as well to replant, because that's what we do. If it doesn't work, we're just going to dig it up and replant it. And this is my raised bed with most of our vegetables. So we have, I think all this might be catnip. I'm not sure. I did not plant it. I think it was here when we moved. But we have zucchini. Let's see if you can see these. These are French breakfast radishes. And these are doing really well. They are my yellow crookneck. This is a yellow crookneck squash that I took from here because it was just a little overcrowded. Planted here. And then I've got some tomatoes, and I can't even remember what kind these are. But this one is a bush early girl, and then the other 3, right here and here and right there, are late season tomatoes, because I'm going to be using green tomatoes to make some relish. These are my peas. There's a row on either side of this trellis. This end, for some reason, is not doing as well. I don't know if it's just doesn't get as much sun or what. We've got some blossoms. You can see there, there. It's doing pretty good, although they are running out of room. I either need to add more trellis or I don't know what else I would do. Okay, lastly, one more tomato plant. I planted this one about 2 weeks before planting these other ones. Don't know what kind it is. I got it from my parents. And this is a dahlia that my sister planted. And lastly, I tried starting some green onions from seed, and man, they're hard. They are growing, kind of, but they took a very long time to come up. And then I've got some other radishes here. I think these are cherry bell, or I think that's what they're called. They're not doing well because radishes should grow pretty quickly, and I've only got like one that I can. I've only got one that I can actually see is anywhere close to being ready. I think my child is crying, so that will be the end of our tour for today, and I will update you again next week.